Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Nilazad. Anyways, back at you. Just to drop this little video in response to a question. Yeah, the homie asked me, basically, about Sureños. I'm guessing when you mean upstate, as far as like the vatos in California, that's like further up north. If that's the case, yeah, that's an easy answer. The homies are the same. Even in prison, it's the same. It doesn't matter if the vatos from Chico or he's from Oceano, because we got there's Sureños all the way in Oregon and up in Washington and back. It's like we're everywhere, so there can't be no real discrimination against them. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got vatos from like every area down south. Like in particular that are a little cocky because we are from down south, and sometimes they will act a little cocky because where they're from, and they figure these vatos are up there, representing the Sur, and it's kind of like, okay, well, you're from up north, but you homie that clown and shit. For the most part, I wouldn't advise it. I've seen a homie try to clown the vato from Eastside Fresno. Of course, it went all bad for the homie because he kind of like he was clowning with the homie, didn't really know that the homie just wasn't trying to hear that shit, because in most cases, some of them vatos do hear it from vatos down south, get a little cocky, and so they have to, they're gonna respond. They're homies too, so they're not just gonna take that shit. But all in all, from my eyes, look at I had Marceli Lonchi from Madera. I had the homie from Eastside Fresno right up the tier. Then you had the homie from Chico. Local from Atwater. Like, well, the homies from all up there. Like Marceli was from Oceano, not Oceano, but yeah, was it Oceano? Not Oceano, it was something with an O, but it was right before you hit the Oregon border. And to be honest, to me, I see no difference. They're still repping the S, and they're still smashing on their enemies. So it's like, they're camaradas. Like the homie from Fairfield, you had the homies from Richmond, you got vatos in Stockton, you got the homies from Sanger, you got all these vatos, Bakerfield, Colonia. I had good homies from there, And you remember Bakersfield at one time, a lot of them want to run Norteños at one time, but from what I hear, but for the most part, yeah, they're all the same. Homies, only certain homies will act cocky, but them are the ones that, they got complexes. But for the most part, if them want to repping the S, who the fuck am I to say who's better? Like, and a lot of them vatos are with the shit. I run into the vatos from Fairfield. A lot of them vatos are with the shit. So it's like, what can a homie really say? The only fucked up thing is sometimes I feel like them vatos go out of their way, like, or homies put them in a position to where they gotta go out of their way to represent something that they should have by right. Like, as soon as you rep that S, you already put yourself in a position to where, you might be called up on. So as far as like the Sureños up north, like, hey, it's all good. Like, to me, S is S. It don't matter where in the fuck you at. You can be in fucking Canada. We got homies in Canada. You got motherfucking homies in New York. You got homies fucking Florida. You got homies from everywhere. Every fucking state. There's homies right there. Even parts where they don't even have a gang of Mexicanos, but you got homies there. So to us, it's all the same, Like I said, every once in a while you get a vato that's cocky and just figure, oh, well, we're Sureños, and they're just like claiming the fame. But them are vatos that don't think too much. They're kind of slow, They didn't play good around other kids and shit with the yellow helmets on. But for the most part, every Sureño I know, got love for them fools because they're actually in the mix of it. Like, when it comes to Norteños, I'm sure that there's a couple of vatos that have been on here wolfing, but I pay you no mind because in truth, like, my ass is my ass. I'm gonna keep an ass all day, so no disrespect to you, and you're gonna do you. I'm sure you probably see me and be like, fuck this fool, and say what you want to say up under your breath, or to your homeboys and whatever. I ain't tripping off of it, but for the most part, it's what it is, But as far as like the Sureños and other states and all that shit, they homies to me. The only thing that I've ever ran into, like one time I was in AZ, Arizona, and fucking, there was a vato right there. We kind of had words, and then we end up, getting into altercation because this vato was repping the Sur, but he was kind of dissing the 13 and shit. You know what I mean? And that's a no-no. It don't matter. That's a no-no. Like, the Sur and the 1-3 go together. There's no separating that. It ain't like, oh, that's a part of your arga or nothing. No, that 13 is a representation of your race. what brought you together. Not, you know, it's so, you know, I would you know, think that they would represent the 13 before the swoop, since that's Southern United, and you know some of these watches are far away, but it's not. It's a cause. It's a chorus. The, you know, it's a lot of things. It's not just. It may have started in Southern California, but don't mean it stayed there. We're everywhere now. So yeah, my thoughts on that is this. In prison, it's the same. You know, sometimes you hit yards and there's more homies from Southern vodkas up north, then there's actually homies from like any other car around. Sometimes you go and there's like 30 of them bottles on the yard, you know, and all from different neighborhoods, and they all get along. Some of them, you know, I've heard like little beasts, you know what I mean, but that's only natural. Homies are turned up anyway, so it's like whatever, you know. I ran into Sureños in a lot of different states, and you know they're representing. So when I see them, it's like, you know, saludos straight out. Like it, you know, ain't no difference with me. I had Celis that were from bottoms up north, but they Sureños, so you know, it is what it is, straight out, you know. The same with, you know, I can't say nothing about the Norteños because they don't have nobody down here like that, so whatever. But, and another thing I want to touch on, you know, there's a few watches that come on here, like I ain't gonna say your name, but basically asked me if I ever banged on a Norteño. I mean, that, yeah, I have. Napa, I mean, local from Napa, like I can go on, Boogie from, like I can go on, but this, it's not about that. Like I'm not preaching gang violence. I know that if we ran into in the street, we probably knock each other down, you know. It's, and it ain't nothing personal. It's just the way it is, you know. Maybe, you know, you get caught slipping, I knock your wig loose, but it ain't about gang banging. It's about, like, if you notice in my first video what I said, I was trying to keep homies out of jail because it's different now. It's not what it's all cracked up to be, and for the most part, you can end up with life for bullshit. But I'm not gonna diss my car. I'm not gonna diss my outcome. I'm not gonna diss a swoop, period, in order to appease anybody. We ain't gonna never get along. We may be cool, you know, in certain things, but for the most part, I couldn't trust you to not trip on me, just like you can't trust me to not trip on you. And it ain't about gang on some man shit. We just from different areas. Trust me, down here it's the same shit. Like a lot of, you know, we have this little silent beef, even though it shouldn't be. But I mean, the homies are turned up, so everybody's gonna have that. My area is better than yours, and for the most part, like if you come to LA County and you from a different area, but you're Sudan, the homies gonna treat you with love because they don't play that shit. Our homies will fucking smash us, get us smashed, and you know how it go. You know, you wanna play that shit. The homies. Yeah, we respect our homies, so we ain't finna do that. But yeah, just to be honest, I mean, that's how it is though. I mean, homies are all turned up, you know. Homies from Dago, homies from IE, homies from Orange County, all the homies from Los. Like, it's just, it is the way it is. But when you come down to us, it's different, you know. But as far as like the Norteños that be wolfing on my shit, like, look, it's cool, you know, it's understandable. You gotta keep up that facade for your homeboys, act like, yeah, fuck this, you know, I ain't gonna diss us, but you know, it's understandable. You're gonna say what you gotta say because, you know, that's just what you just want to do. But I mean, why not just go to a channel where it's a Norteño and then, you know, wolf that shit? Because right here, it's like I said, it's wolfing don't move nothing but air. With me, I'm just gonna laugh at it and keep pushing. Because I mean, oh, but to answer your question, yeah, I've been up north. I've been going up north since like 92, and I've been to Fresno. Like I told you, I could tell you the watches that I've clashed with. It doesn't mean I've never been banged on. I've been banged on by Norteños, but I bang back and we just get it cracking, you know. But that's just how it goes, you know. I wasn't one of those gang members. I was a gang banger. So if I seen your homies, I was running up. I push up on you. I was like, where you from, man? Saying this, you know, and you can say what you want, get in there, whatever, and then get banked on. Like, it's just the way it is. The same way if I'm like, what's up, S, and you don't get off, that make you a buster. But with me, it's like if you bang on me, I'm gonna let you know what time it is. But there's no disrespect. It's just what it is, you know. So yeah, I have banged on Norteños, but like I said, the video ain't about that. I'm not trying to push no bullshit, especially on YouTube. I'm just telling from my camaradas as far as like what prison is now and the shit to avoid, you know, for these youngsters that's really trying to be full-fledged with it, for them also to be careful. And if you're gonna do something, be smart about it. Don't just be like wild and shit like I used to be and just all out there. As far as like blasting your homies in the pen, I just didn't waste my time, you know. But Knuckles, yeah, you know, I knuckle the gang of fools up because, I mean, hey, boots are being laced, but as far as like this treaty, like I'm not tripping on it. I'm gonna follow whatever my homeboys say, because that's just what we do. We're gonna follow, and if it don't work out, and I'm on the yard and they get cracking, then you know what, we just gonna get it cracking. But other than that, it's like, who am I to say that the peace ain't whatever? If you getting money and you ain't running your mouth about us, I ain't tripping. Like on the street is a different story, but we know that, you know, and I'm sure you know that. So, like, come on, homie, like, you know, woofing on here, that shit ain't nothing, dog. You know, you just making yourself look stupid when you do it. Like, just be a grown man about it and shit, and just be like, hey, if you don't like what I'm saying, just, you know, just don't, you ain't gotta wolf on me. It's all good. You're norteño, I'm a sureño, and it's just, you know, that's how we do. S and N, you know, you do yours, I do mine. But to the camaradas, saludos, and to the vato that, hopefully I answered your question about sureños upstate and all around the U.S. Yeah, we on, and I'm out.